Devarius Overshown, the linebacker of the Cowboys, tore everything in his knee last night. His right knee, his ACL, MCL, PCL. What a disastrous knee injury. This guy, say goodbye to him for well over a year. You can say that's going to be a long recovery. All three. He blew out all three. That is not something you see every day. All right, here we go. You got some over-unders, some NFC, AFC odds. I want to see how bad the Steelers are being disrespected this week by these sportsbook idiots. And you heard me. And then we'll start week 15. I hate all of them. So I hate them as much as I hate the Chiefs. I don't have any friends in that business. None.
I know.
They're the enemy.
Nor should you. You're
Enemy.
trying to beat them. You're trying to beat them, which is understandable. The Ravens, the best team to the over this year. 10 of their 13 games have gone over the rainbow. Panthers, Commanders, Bengals, Patriots, Cowboys, Bucks also on that side. As far as the unders go, Texans, Giants, and Chargers have played the most unders in the NFL so far this year.
That's because the Giants can't score.
That is correct. It's an easy one with the why the Giants are there. They don't score any points, which is why the Giants are in the under column every week. And now, so you have the team with the most unders, Giants, taking on the team with the most overs in the Ravens this Sunday at MetLife. I do have those numbers for you later, but I'll tell you exactly what
they are dead. They are dead.
NFC. I know that's going to be a bad scene. Ravens off a bye, going into. They
like a
smash the Giants. That's a bad scene for the Giants this week. Odds to win the NFC. I figured I'll give you the NFC first, so the AFC ones don't upset you. The Lions plus 130, Eagles plus 260. Then the Vikings jump the Packers this week. They're plus 850. Packers are 9-1. Everyone else 22-1 or longer. The Lions have the most tickets. The Lions have the most money there at the house.
Look, I think the Eagles can beat the Lions. But I would love to see, I'd have no problem at all if the Lions won the Super Bowl and the sports books all got cleaned out. Because they're going to get absolutely cleaned out if they win. The liability on the Lions is so massive at every sports book in the country that from Vegas to New York to Jersey to wherever the hell they are, it does not matter. The money on the Lions is so astronomical, and it will be an absolute bloodletting for the sports books, which I think would be perfectly ideal. In a perfect world, that's what I live for. I would love to see them all get done in the arse. I live for it. Like, honestly, I will run naked in Hell's Kitchen down the entire city block if they win and the sports books all go broke. I mean it. I made it.
And on the AFC side, all of them. They should all
send
all
me emails. You're paying my ass.
Down. Last week, the Bills were the favorites for the AFC, but they lost. So now they're not anymore. The Chiefs are, though, at plus 190. Bills are plus 225. The Ravens are plus 450. Then the Steelers at plus 850 to win the AFC. It's going to be one of those teams. The rest of the teams, don't even waste your time.
I think the number on the Steelers is phenomenal for bettors. Not only do I think they can win it all, I really do. They lack nothing. They don't have any real weaknesses.
No.
They lost 3 games, all 3 of which were crazy. The snow game in Cleveland, the Dallas game with 20 seconds left, and then what was the third game that they lost?
They lost. Didn't they lose? Didn't they lose to the Colts? The Colts
they lost
game.
To the Colts, and Indiana had the ball with 2 minutes left, and at their own 40-yard line, they fumbled or whatever, and the ball went over his head, and it went 11 yards back, and they never recovered from that. So all 3 of those games they could have won. They had the lead on the Cowboys, lost with 20 seconds left, had the ball to win against the Colts, a crappy team. And they lost to a crappy team in the Ravens, or the Browns in the snow game. They beat the Ravens. Now they're going to play the Ravens after they played Philly. They've already beaten them. They've played well in Baltimore before and beaten them there. You already know Lamar Jackson's kryptonite is the Steelers. He beats everybody but the Steelers. And if they get some of that home cooking, the 2 seed, they could be in the AFC title game against Kansas City, and they'll get a taste of them on Christmas Day. I think those odds on the Steelers, and listen, I understand I'm homerized milquetoast, but they're legitimately for real. They are legit. They got a great quarterback. They got great, let's face it, they spread the ball to every single receiver on the team, caught a pass in the last 2 weeks. Like 12 guys have caught passes in the last 2 weeks. They got a running game with 2-headed prong. They got a great pass rush. Very good linebackers, good secondary, good. They have the best kicker in the league, bar none. Has the most points in the league, the most field goals in the league, the most extra points, perfection, and they got a good punter. They got good special teams. They got a great coach. What don't they have? They have it all. They are a Super Bowl team. This is a Super Bowl team. It would be their 9th Super Bowl. Let's not forget how many of them they've won and how many times they've gone. They mean business. I mean, Khan has done a job loading this team up. I respect the Bills and the Chiefs, and that's it. I respect them both heavily, and that's it. There's no other team. And, the Ravens are beatable. The Chargers are beatable. And the Broncos are definitely beatable. So there you have it. Those are the 3 teams. And those odds, get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot, indeed. All right, Week 15 will begin Thursday night in San Francisco, Santa Clara, really, at Stonewashed Denim Jeans for the Rams and the 49ers. So let's get our first look at that. Now, you mentioned this earlier. The 49ers got all kinds of problems. Of course, they've already lost Christian McCaffrey and Jordan Mason. Isaac Guarendo, who started on Sunday, he's banged up, and with a short week, it might be difficult for him. They're going to have this Patrick Taylor, who would be in line to start for the 49ers if Guarendo could not go. The Rams come in. Remember, they beat the Niners in Los Angeles early in the season. Niners minus 2.5, 49.5, the total here for Thursday night.
I still think it's the Niners at home in Santa Clara at Stonewashed, and they'll cover. This will be, they're going to start winning all these games at the end of the season like they always do. Since week, 9, they always turn it on. They're going to get back to respectability. They kick the Bears' ass. Now, look, I think the Rams are a good team. Like what they did to the Bills was, to me, unbelievable. But I don't fear them at all on the road at Levi's. I say it's a split. And I know I was wrong about Arizona and Seattle. I thought it'd be a split. But I think that I think the Niners are going to win. Somehow, some way, they'll get it done. All the guys, they talk about injuries, and I get it. They've been naked all year, and they're still now winning games. What, they put 38 on the Bears? The Rams aren't that good. Okay, I mean,
No.
They blew the lead against the Bills. They're beatable. Believe me, they wouldn't be where they are if they weren't beatable. I think they go on the road and lose this one too.
I think that the Niners have dug themselves too big of a hole to probably win that NFC West at this point. But I got a feeling that they're gonna tease a little bit over these last 4 weeks. I got a feeling that they're gonna win on Thursday, get back to 7-7. Maybe the Seahawks lose to the Packers on Sunday night, and they're gonna get themselves some more belief that they can win this division. I'm with you. I think the Niners win. I don't care who's playing running back. Kyle Shanahan can take guys off the street, and they'll run for 80, 90 yards in that system. Niners on Thursday for me, too.
Yeah, Taylor will have the game of his life.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on
Right.
Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as deep. overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, Mike, I don't like, if I honestly ran the Philadelphia Eagles, if I was Howie, I wouldn't be having any of this, like guys having radio shows. I honestly, like, this guy goes on a radio last night in Philly talking about all their laundry and saying that these players don't like each other. Look what it did today. It started a firestorm in Philly. Everything you do in Philly turns into a fire. And if I owned a team, if I ran a team, there'd be none of that. And, you know, this guy Parsons, too, I would have walked up to him if I owned the Cowboys and said, listen, you need to shut up. You talk too much. You know, criticizing all your teammates all the time. It's getting real stale around here. Shut your mouth. You don't like it? I'll cut you. I'll trade you. You know, I'm not going to have it if I own the team. And this guy having this radio show, what is that about? Honestly.
Well, yeah, let's get completely up to speed with everything. And yes, Brandon Graham does a show, a weekly thing, Monday nights, I guess, on WIP in Philly with a couple of the local hosts there. And it's at a bar, I guess, and every week people come out. It's, you know, one of those things they do. The guy's been there a long time, so you figure he would say the right things. He's a veteran leader, but he kind of caused a problem here last night. But this really started Sunday after the game. It was a close Eagle win over the Carolina Panthers. Afterwards, A.J. Brown, you know, kind of let it be known that he wasn't thrilled. He was asked about what needs to change on the offense. He used the one-word answer, passing. Really just throwing the finger at his quarterback, Jalen Hurts. Then you led to Graham last night, who said Hurts and Brown don't like each other anymore. They're letting personal feelings get in the way of business. They've got to figure it all out. This was Sirianni yesterday, before the Brandon Graham stuff. He was asked about A.J. Brown saying passing after the game on Sunday. He tried to squash everything and say, oh, it's going to be all right. You know, we're going to watch film, and the guys are going to get together, kumbaya.
What I do know when guys, I love that guys care, you know, and they care about the how they perform. They care about us meeting our standard. And
you don't love what happened
that
last
just
night.
leads into getting better. And so, you know, my only thought is on that is, hey, we're going to get to work today, which we already did, and watch the tape with them and make the corrections and be critical of ourselves as coaches and how we can put them in better situations, how we can do different stuff to help out, and everybody doing their part. And so it's just an opportunity for you to grow and to get better. And that's what anytime you step on the field is an opportunity for that.
Sure.
Have you ever seen anything like this team? They win every week, and all they do is complain on the radio. We've had this conversation now multiple times. I have never seen anything like a team that wins, and people just cannot stand the way they perform. I think the expectations there are, stratospheric. Like they're crazy. These people. They actually think that they should never lose a game ever, not one game ever in the history of the franchise should they ever lose. And I think that it's embarrassing. Like the fact that here we go again, that they've got all this turmoil and the players hate each other and that Jalen Hurts sucks is laughable. Okay? Let's face facts. Their identity now is a running team. That's who they are. They got Barkley for a reason. And they have great receivers. And it hasn't panned out, but they win every effing game they play. And their defense is good. Their running game is extremely good. And I don't understand it at all. I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. Like listening to these people complain. And I saw them. Did you see the fans outside the link? They interview all these fans about what's wrong with the team, and they all say it's Hurts and that they should draft. I heard him say, a guy said they should draft Jackson Dart. Are you kidding me? Jackson Dart can't hold Jalen Hurts package.
Jackson Dart.
So they're so stupid, these fans. I mean, they are really, you people are, you people. I mean, you really are something else.
You people?
You are some stupid ass people. I've never seen anything like that. I told you, I go to the games there incognito, and I just keep my mouth shut. I go with a hoodie on and the whole deal. And I cannot believe really their behavior to begin with, honestly.
Well, and I know you always love this. This will be the final word. So Graham then this morning has to walk it all back and call back into the radio station. And he says, listen, you're going to love this. I made a mistake and assumed that it was something that it wasn't. I just want to win so bad that I don't want to use the media when we need to talk about something we can fix the problem ourselves. I didn't add to it in a good light. That's my bad. I really just want to win. I want my brothers to be able to hash it out. Let me just tell you something. That guy has been in the league forever. He's won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Exactly what he said last night is what happened. These two guys don't like each other. Why walk it back in that way this morning when you know it's just lying? That's called Howie and Sirianni got him in the room or got him on the phone and said, you better go fix this. We're 11-2. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. Like you fix this now. Go back on the radio.
It's pathetic. It's even worse. It's not that bad that he said it because he had the stones to say it. Now, if you're going to go do some stupid-ass radio show and you're going to let him do it, he's going to eventually put his foot in his mouth. And that's exactly what he did. And then to actually walk it back, there's nothing more embarrassing that we think that exists in the world on this show than people that say things and then a day later and $1 short have to walk it back because some executive, called him on the phone and gave him the business and said, you're gonna apologize. It happens all the time in life and in business where people say things they have to walk back. And frankly, there's nothing I hate worse. If I say something, I mean it. I mean, I mean it. And then I've had to do it myself, left and right. I have been in more trouble than you know, everywhere along my 41 years with things that I've said. I joke all the time on SportsGrid about the red phone, but it's reality. The red phone is the trouble phone. That's the phone call when you're in trouble for something you say. And then the guy walks it back. You're like a pansy. You're a pansy. You're a phony. I don't care how big you are, how tough you are, how badass you are. We all know now that you're a phony. Brandon Graham's a phony because he just said, I didn't mean it. That's not what I meant. All this other bullshit. You phony ass bait.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that.
Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a challenge. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
You're right, Mike. The times of these games, they're at the same time. The Bills, Lions, and the Steelers, Eagles are on two different channels at the same time. Now, obviously, you can watch Red Zone, but then you get bits and pieces of every game. I guess you get all the relatively big plays, anything that happens scoring-wise or Red Zone-wise, they go to the games. But it's not the same thing as having a great game you can watch on the network. I will watch over the Red Zone. I mean, I'm 80% Red Zone. I like the Red Zone channel. But if the Steelers are playing a game like the Eagles, I'm going to watch it.
Look, I understand that they can't predict this stuff 9 months in advance. I get that. Like, you had no idea 9 months ago that, the Bills and the Lions, the Bills would be 10-3, Lions would be 12-1. You had no idea the Steelers would be 10-3, the Eagles would be 11-2. Like, there's like 5 or 6 games at 4 o'clock this week. The last 6 weeks, there's been 3 games at 4 o'clock. They've all sucked. And now this week, you got 2 awesome games, and they're both on at the same time with the Eagles, Steelers, and the Bills, Lions. Oh, come on. Get it right. Figure it out. You have all this flexing. And one game's on CBS, one game's on Fox. Neither network probably wanted to give up the game to move it to Sunday night. I get it. But it sucks for the fans because, there's 1 o'clock, there's 4 o'clock, there's 8 o'clock, there's Mondays, there's Thursdays. And both the 2 best games this week are both on at the same exact time. Stupidity. Why have flex if you're not going to be able to use it in a situation like this where it's absolutely deserved? Here is the number for Sunday. You said you wanted to see it. Here it is. The Eagles are now 5.5-point favorites over the Steelers at the link. 42.5 is the total. The Steelers are 5-0 as dogs this season. They've won 7 straight games outright as an underdog going back to last year. Tomlin is 60-32-3 against the spread in his career as an underdog. 5.5 is a big number on Sunday. Big number.
Keep betting on the Eagles. Get it up to 6.5. Give me a tutty and a hook. Keep betting the Eagles because they're just so incredible and they all hate each other. So go bet on the Eagles. You still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. Just keep betting the Eagles and get me give me another full point. Let's go. It's already gone from 4.5 to 5.5. Let's go to 6.5. And then I'll bet the Steelers and they'll cover.
The Steelers, I saw Tomlin say this morning that they will likely be without George Pickens again Sunday in Philadelphia. He called it doubtful. Yeah. He said it's not completely out, but he would call it doubtful right now. Chris Boswell leads the NFL in scoring. He's got 137 points. He's made 36 of 39 field goals. He's made all 29 extra points that he has attempted this year. That's called having a kicker is important, is what that's called. He's the new guy in the league. Tucker sucks now. It's Boswell. He's the guy that makes every single kick when he goes out there. It's a great weapon to have.
Yeah, I think Butker's good too, and he's been injured, so he's kind of missed a big chunk. But when it comes to playoffs and Super Bowls, he doesn't miss. And obviously, Boswell's very accurate, especially from 50 yards or more. So I've seen this guy nail so many kicks. It's really incredible that he's almost turned into Tucker. When Tucker was dominating the NFL as the best kicker, that's what Boswell has become now. He's kind of become him.
That is what he's become. All right, let's slide in before the break. Of course, the Chiefs continue to win every week, but they win by the skin of their teeth every week. Here is Andy Reid on the Chiefs continuing to play very close games.
It's a unique year. They're all unique. This one's unique from the standpoint that we've had a lot of close games. And we've been able to battle through some things to get these victories. And I'm sure we'll continue to do that. One of the things I came out of training camp with was that kind of senior leadership, mentally tough guys, and I think some of that's carried over to the newer additions.
Yeah,
I can't wait till they lose.
You want to know what? I'm going to do it for you right now. They're going to lose in Cleveland on Sunday to the Browns. They're going to lose to the Browns in Cleveland on Sunday. I'm going for it. I don't care. Give me the 4.5. 4.5. Why is this only 4.5? I get it. All your games are close. The Chiefs are so much better than the Browns. This should be like a touchdown. Why the hell is it only 4.5? Browns outright. They're going to beat the Chiefs on Sunday. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a chance. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you've got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
So your coach finally admits he made a mistake?
Yeah, he did, but like honestly, I can't listen to this guy's drivel anymore. I'm done with it. Like I don't even want to hear him. I know that he was gonna say, and he didn't really admit to it either. Like he danced around. We're not gonna do that again. Next time we won't run the ball. Shut up. Here's what I'm worried about. Are they gonna win in Detroit on Sunday? That's all that matters to me. I can't listen to this guy make any more excuses. He's got a quarterback that had 6 touchdowns on Sunday. He ran for 3 and he threw for 3 and he lost the game. Now he has to make up for that by going into Detroit this Sunday and beating the 12-1 Lions. Let's go. It's only 1.5. Lions minus 1.5, 54.5. 54.5. That's a big total. Could be a Super Bowl preview. Never know.
It could very well be. I think it's going to be a wild game. I think it'll go over. I think this guy, Allen, is... you see him have 6 touchdowns, 3 throwing, 3 running. I mean, he's lethal. And I think they're going to be in the game. I think the Lions are like the Chiefs. They always find a way to win. All they do is win. And, the Bills lost to the Rams. I thought they were one of those teams that wins every week, no matter what. They hit a wall in L.A., and now they could be in that snowball where they lose 2 in a row. They're playing in a tough place against, I think, the best team in the NFL right now. I don't buy the Chiefs anymore. It's fool's gold that they're 12-1 and they barely win every game, as you said, by the skin of their teeth. The Lions have blown teams out, and then they play close games and they win them too. That number's 1.5. I can live with that with Detroit. I already went for it with the Bills in LA and got burned. I touched the oven.
Yeah, I do think I think the Bills are actually going to win this game for some reason. I think that they're going to go in Detroit and win. I think that it's going to be a great game, 38-35, some classic game, and people are going to wish that this will be the Super Bowl, and it's not going to be. One of them will lose in January. People are going to love the game. It's going to be an awesome game, and then they won't get it when it actually matters. So I think it's going to blow through 54.5. I think that's got to be the biggest total, if I can remember off the top of my head, that we've had this year in the regular season, getting up that high. And I think it will absolutely come close, if not blow right through that number. The Ravens, as I mentioned to you before, they are off the bye this week. They are at MetLife against the Giants, who have been pathetic. Lost at home to the Saints on Sunday. Here is John Harbaugh, says the Ravens feel good after their bye.
I pretty much shared most of it with you already, through the press conference. I mean, guys know, but we try to speak it. We're all trying to be on the same page, but this is our opportunity, and it's about the football. Let's go play our best football. We're in a good place. We got a bunch of great players, a bunch of great coaches. We got some tough opponents in front of us, starting with the Giants on Sunday, and let's go see what we're all about.
Are you kidding me? This guy's just said that? He's got a bunch of tough games, including the Giants this Sunday. That game is an absolute stinker. It is a joke. The Giants have folded up shop. It's Gladbach City. They are done. Put a fork in them. They have no chance to win any game, nor should they want to win any game. We talked about it yesterday. They need to lose every single game and get the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. It's that simple. They need to let the Ravens run up and down the field and win. There is nothing that benefits the New York Football Giants from winning a single game that's left on their schedule. They need to lose all of them. It's a must. They have to lose. And don't even tell me they haven't had that conversation.
They will absolutely lose this game on Sunday. There's no way around that. But 14.5 is a very big number. We know the deal with big numbers so far this year in the NFL. And I will tell you, everyone's going to the window with the Ravens. I know it's early in the week. 75% of the bets, 90% of the money on Baltimore. People think they're going to cover 14.5. No sweat whatsoever against the G-Men on Sunday.
Here's an idea. Don't bet the game. Just stay away from it.
That's you know what? That might be the best angle. Just don't play the game, because
who needs that?
It's tough. It's tough. Now, I could see the Ravens getting over to 43.5 by themselves. in the game. And if that's the case, they'd probably cover the 14.5 too.
I think they are the most overrated team in the NFL. It is unbelievable to me how much juice they get with really the performances that they've had. I mean, they just haven't been all that. All I hear about is the Ravens. You've already seen the odds. They're the third-rated team to win the Super Bowl from the AFC. Yep. It's a joke.
They are.
I mean, I think they've had problems, and I think they're not having a great season. I really do. I think they're, frankly, I think they're barely better than the Broncos and Chargers. I mean it. I think there's no way I put them in front of the Steelers. I already saw the Steelers kick their ass.
I would not put them in front. I am with you. I would not put them in front of the Steelers, especially when you consider the head-to-head that they beat their ass in the game. That's enough for me right there that the Steelers should be ahead of them.
I seen them go into Baltimore and beat them there, too.
Yeah, and we will get that game in a couple weeks. We will get the Steelers and the Ravens once again, this time from down there in Baltimore. The Packers will head to Seattle. This is the Sunday night game, as opposed to either the Eagles, Steelers, or the Lions, Bills. The Seahawks and the Packers is the Sunday night game up at Lumen. Here is Matt LaFleur. Of course, they're coming off the loss in Detroit last Thursday. His team needs to be ready for the stretch run these final 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, we still got to take care of business, right? And I think every one of these games, like I told our team, is not going to be easy. Every one of these games is, it's towards the end of the season, so people are going to be clawing and fighting for every game. And it starts this week in Seattle against a team that is fighting to control their own destiny within their division. So there's a lot of ball in front of us, and we got to continue to make sure that we look no further than what is right in front of us, and take that day-by-day approach, because that gives you your best opportunity to go out there on Sunday night and play your best ball. So if we look any further than that, then you get your ass kicked in this league.
I think they'll win the game in Seattle because I think they're better than the Seahawks. I think they are just below the Lions and Eagles. They're the third choice on the menu. And Seattle, to me, is, I think they're going to win the West, and they're going to be one and done.
Yeah, look, the Packers are favored here. 2.5 on the road in Seattle against the Seahawks. 46.5 is the total. This would be the matchup if the playoffs started today. It would be Green Bay going to Seattle if Seattle can hold on to that NFC West and Green Bay doesn't pass Minnesota on the wild card side of things. I'm with you. I just think they're a lot better than them going into this. And I like the Packers on Sunday night as well. And everyone in the NFC West will be rooting for the Packers too. Yes, I agree with that. We've already we saw Jordan Love last year go into some tough spots. Dallas get a win. They blew that game in San Francisco that they should have won. But I think they'll get the job done in Seattle. Kirk Cousins, no tutties and 8 picks.
It's even worse.
During the Falcons stretch of they've lost their last 4 games, 4 straight losses. He has no tutties and 8 picks in that stretch. That is not what you want as they go to Vegas on Monday night. Remember, 2 Monday night games. I told you this yesterday. And they are 4.5-point favorites in Vegas against the Raiders, 44.5 total.
I think they'll get right against the Raiders because the Raiders are literally landfill garbage. They're landfill garbage.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a shout. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, so we switch to baseball because the winter meetings are going on. And yesterday we talked at great length about the Soto deal. I wanted to bring up, now I don't know exactly, but I saw the rundown last night of how much money this guy's making. Like he's making $136,000 a day.
Yeah.
Per day. And like it's even worse than that, like down to at bats, how much he makes at every at bat. But I think he's making $136,000 a day.
I have it here if you want it.
Well, go ahead and give me all the numbers. I'm gonna puke.
$765 million over 15 years.
Right.
$51 million per year. $4,250,000 a month. $139,000 a day. $5,821 an hour. $97 a minute, $1.62 a second is what Juan Soto will make over the 50 years. I like the $5,800 an hour. That's pretty good. $5,800 an hour. Your boy's picking up.
There's only one guy, Ohtani, who makes anywhere near what he makes, and he's not even making any of that because he's getting it all deferred. This guy's in real-time money. Like, you know, famous last words. You never know when you're going to be around. You know, you're going to pay me when I'm 70. What? Like, what is that? I don't even know what that is. You're going to pay me when I'm retired. I don't even know what that is. This guy got $765 million now. Over the next 15 years, every day, he's making $139,000 a day. I mean, you got to be effing kidding me. I've never heard of anything in anything. I've never heard of anything for one individual in any business or sport. No one's ever come close to that deal. So when I said yesterday, we are right around the corner doing push-ups from the first billion-dollar player in Major League Baseball. It's coming down the pike. Count on it, because you're only 230 million from $1 billion. All it is, 2 more years. That's what it is. Right. It's 2 more years of pay. Like the Yankees offered him 1 more year, and it was $3 million less per year than he would have made in the 15 years what he's making now. So he left. He's so greedy, this guy, that he got the same amount of money essentially, but less money per year from the Yankees. So he walked across the street to that dump in Queens, and he's going to play for the Mets, who don't have the Yankees history. Let's just face facts. Now, I won't deny it's great for the Mets. It really is. It's great for the Mets. But in some capacity, I do not believe for 1 minute that this won't hurt them down the road. And I'm talking about being able to pay everybody else. I honestly, you cannot tell me that you pay a guy $139,000 a day and it doesn't affect your bottom line. I don't. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I get how they signed him, but I remember this: 5 years he can leave.
Well,
I don't trust that guy as far as I can spit.
That's the funny thing about it. And I was watching something. It was a clip from the ESPN, Passan and Buster Olney. They were doing like a little talk about the Soto deal. And they said, Passan said, who's obviously as tapped in as anybody, that secretly behind the scenes, the executives of the Mets and the Yankees were both hoping that he would pick the other team because of the longer term ramifications that come with signing a guy to a 15-year, $765 million deal and what it limits you in doing in other places. And there just becomes a number where it's like, you got to be kidding me. And they were still doing the stories today about that the deal breaker was that the Yankees wouldn't give him a suite, his own suite.
That's ridiculous.
Like, enough.
It's about money.
Stop.
It's about money.
Stop talking about suites. There's no way to. I just don't believe that.
What do I give
I
a
don't
rat's
believe
ass about his wife and his mother sitting up in a suite drinking rum?
Enough.
I don't care about his family or children or anybody else. I just know I got to pay one guy every year that kind of money, $51 million a year. Don't tell me it doesn't affect everything else. One guy, you better hope he doesn't get hurt because he's going to get all of it. And I'll say this.
Hope.
I don't deny how good he is with a bat. I think he's the best at bat I've seen in baseball since Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds had the best at bats I've ever seen in my life, and he always turned on pitches. And I think that this guy, the way he sits up there and intimidates pitchers with his staring at them on their pitches that he makes to them, and the eye that he has for the corners of knowing what's a ball and what's a strike, and how he'll look back at the umpire like, you must be nuts because I know more than you. He's got an eye like I've never seen any hitter since Bonds. And I think he hits the ball. He's not a home run hitter. He's not. He's a big bat hitter. Gaps, shots, doubles, singles. Right. He can hit home runs till he's blue in the face, 35, 40 home runs, whatever. But, Bonds, I think, turned on fastballs better than him. But I'll say this. He's the best at bat in Major League Baseball now, hands down. He's better than Judge, all of them. Judge strikes out too much. Judge was awful in the postseason.
Yeah. But the one thing that you have to take into account, and this is what I think the difference is with him and Ohtani, like 5 years from now, there's a good chance that this guy's only a DH. He's, like it or not, he's a butcher in right field. He's got a good arm, but he's an awful right fielder. And he's not a great base runner either. Now, Ohtani got the $700 million, but and everybody says, well, he's just a DH too. He also pitches. Okay, that's why Ohtani got $700 million. He not only is a beast who hits mammoth homers, he pitches like a Cy Young candidate while he's doing that as well. I don't understand why this guy got more money than Ohtani. I don't get it. But God bless and good luck. And I know that sounds like I'm a Yankee fan. I'm upset I lost him. Is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is at this point. That's what it comes down to.
Right fielder. He's not a great base runner. He's a great hitter.
I'm actually not even on a side today.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas?
I gave them a challenge. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set, to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin, back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Yeah, I don't believe this guy Stearns from the Mets. I know he's going to sit here and talk about, oh, we got plenty of money to spend on everything else. I don't believe that for a minute now.
Well, this is him yesterday. Obviously very happy that they signed Soto, but the questions then get asked. Do you have any money left? Specifically, do you have any money and resources left to bring Pete Alonso back to play first base for the New York Mets? Here is Stearns.
We've got a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of conversations ongoing, free agency and trade. I think this has the potential to be, for the industry, a pretty active winter meetings, and that's a good thing. So we're having a lot of conversations. We'll see where it goes. But, look, we've got a lot of off-season left. We've got a chance to continue to make this team better, and that's where our priority is.
How realistic is it that Pete Alonso is a part of that?
We'd love to bring Pete back. And Pete's been a great Met. He had some enormous hits for us, and we'll see where that goes.
Is there room in the budget for him?
I think our ownership has consistently demonstrated that there's going to be resources when we need them.
Yeah, resources when we need them.
He never answered any questions at all. He didn't. He just that guy was just blowing smoke.
That is pretty much what he was doing.
How much of a badass he thinks he is since he left Milwaukee and came to the Mets. He thinks he's some kind of badass or something. Like,
a lot more money to spend.
No one cares about you.
He's got
you
a lot
skinny
more,
thing.
lot more money to spend.
Yeah,
I think that they are going
win.
to sign. I think that they're going to sign. I think they're going to bring Alonso back. I think that they still have money for that. I don't know what they do beyond that, but I do believe that they're going to get rid of it.
They have nothing else. But
right.
I guess you're right. Walker's going to go to the Yankees and not Alonso?
I hope so. Well, Walker, the Yankees, there was a story from Joel Sherman today that the Yankees have re-engaged with Christian Walker, which is somebody that I've been screaming about. I love this guy. I think he's undervalued being in Arizona. Nobody knows who the hell he is. I think he hits for power, and he's got a great glove. Is he a little bit older than some guys? Sure. But I think he'd be a great fit in the Yankee lineup. And this one was interesting today. The Astros... Christian Walker right now is, I will get you his age in a moment. Christian Walker is currently 33. That's the deal with Christian Walker. He's 33 years old.
So what? So give him 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. I think it would cost you a lot less, 4 years, is still, probably in the 150 range, but still, you don't have to make a 10 to 15 year commitment to Christian Walker if you're signing him. But the Kyle Tucker stuff is interesting. I don't believe that the Astros would ever trade with Kyle Tucker to the Yankees. Now, he's a free agent after this year. The Astros historically don't trade their free agents to be and just let them leave like they're doing with Bregman this offseason. Well, if Bregman ends up not going back there. They've done it with Correa. They've done it with Cole. Kyle Tucker would be a beast in Yankee Stadium. I just don't believe that the Astros would trade him to the Yankees.
Yeah, listen, I love, when I saw it, I sent it to you because I like his game. And I think with his bat in the short porch, he'd be pretty dangerous for the Yankees. But look, it's not like, now I know that they don't like the Yankees, but they're not in their division. It's not the same thing. They're trading in the American League, but they're not trading them to a division rival. They want to win their division and get to the postseason. I don't think they're afraid of the Yankees. I don't think they'd like to see Tucker haunt them, but how many times are you going to play him? I mean, you might play him in the regular season a few times, right? Obviously. And then in the postseason, one series? And you think that one guy is going to haunt you? I'm not sure I buy that. I think they would trade him to the Yankees.
I hope they do. If the Yankees ever ended up with Kyle Tucker.
They obviously don't pay their guys. They're going to let Bregman go because he's old. They're going to let this guy go.
And I'll mix this in, too, with the Yankees, since they're obviously in the mix with so many more people now that they didn't get Soto. Max Fried is allegedly very close to making his decision, and that the Yankees and the Red Sox, along with the Giants, are the three teams very much in the mix, and that he does prefer to stay in the Northeast, allegedly. That's what one report said. He allegedly wants to stay in the Northeast. So could be Yankees and Red Sox bidding for him.
I would love it if they got him. I think they also are in play for Crochet in a deal with the White Sox. So I'll take either or both.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
I'm actually not even on a side today. Yeah. And I'll get to that. Why are you on Texas? I gave them a challenge. Maybe not me as the overwhelming authority in college football, but entering that game on this set to you guys, I said there was one elite defense entering the matchup in Austin back to end out October. It's not the Bulldogs like it used to be. It is Texas.
College football today, only on SportsGrid.
We are close right now to round one perfection. And the problem I'm going to have is, depending on some of these outcomes on Saturday, it's going to ruin my excitement for round number one.
I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. Called my doctor after last Monday when we went at it. He said, listen, the blood pressure is off the charts. We can't have you looking like that. I don't want to see neck veins.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Ferrall